Welcome to exciting. Last week we said it was the darkest or the most tragic rugby program we ever made. I'm personally excited if we take into account the URC and the Springboks performances. I know many people, normally I'm the guy that's not excited and that's doom and gloom. Personally, I was quite impressed.
No, definitely. Starting with the URC, the Lions, 38-26 victory against Zebra.
That's the only match I was disappointed in. That's the only match that I was. The first 40 minutes was brilliant.
All Lions half, first 40 minutes, and in the second half, Zebra came back, and the Lions just defended most of the second half.
Well, they didn't defend.
Well, 26 points against them in the second half.
Yeah, I mean it's the old Lions illness all over again. They tear apart any team in the first half. The second half, they just go sit back and lose the plot.
And luckily, the clock saved them in terms of.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you take 12 points, it's a convincing, relaxed win. But it's just, I'm a Lions supporter, and just sitting there watching my team falling into the same trap once again. And we must understand, if you go on the bookies a list of teams, Zebra's lost.
Okay, so yeah, it's not the toughest competition.
So definitely,
in the URC.
It's definitely rated as the worst, and the Lions is number 13.
But the victory for the Lions, I think, a much needed victory for the Lions.
Yeah, it's good. It's just. Yeah, I'm a Lions supporter. Maybe I'm stopped watching them with a little bit of emotion. But yeah, disappointing.
Unfortunately, that was the only victory for the South African teams in the URC this weekend, because it takes us to the next match. That was the Bulls going down 3-31 against Leinster.
Brilliant game by the Bulls. Jake said beforehand, it's a 16-match marathon. It's not a sprint. Okay. I think the Bulls did quite well, but it was clear the difference between the rugby that South Africans is playing, that the Lions played. We want to run with everything and that kind of stuff. Leinster showed us European rugby. It's fast, but it's much more direct and precise.
Okay.
And when they do something, they do it at full speed.
No.
Crew, great game, but it was as if he was not running at full speed. I can't remember one of the Bulls players really attacking at full speed. They were more interested in passing the ball and that kind of stuff.
Instead of running direct lines.
Where the Leinster guys, the Leinster guys did attack the spaces and that also. But at the pace and the aggressiveness and everything they did it with was 28 points better than the Bulls, which is South Africa's best team. But another question I want to ask you. I personally think if you combine the Bulls and Western Province, you'll have a team that maybe will match Leinster. At the post-match conference, we spoke with Jake about South Africa sitting with a 65 million rand budget. Leinster's budget is 180 million rand.
Oh, there you go.
So they can afford, and they've got 46 players.
Handpicked. No.
They've got 46 players that earn 3 times more than the Bulls players.
Yeah.
So that will also explain. And personally, I think Sodom must wake up.
Yeah.
But the Bulls are rated number 4 in the bookies list at this stage, so not a bad showing. Yeah, I'm impressed with the Bulls. What impresses me about the Bulls is the youngsters the youngsters at the Lions just. They lost kop. Hulle het net mal geword. And everybody ran through them. There was still a system with the Bulls, even they were trailing by that much.
Yeah.
And it could have been 31-10 because one try was not allowed.
Okay, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Stormers 18, Benetton 22.
A lot of people said the Stormers lost the game. I personally don't think the Stormers lost the game. The Stormers played a brilliant game. They hang on with everything they had. And again, the youngsters didn't lose their head. Personally, John Dobson very upset after the match. I think there's a lot of Stormers supporters that see doom and gloom. But I mean, the Benetton did beat
The Bulls.
the Bulls by quite a big margin. They're not one of the top teams.
But they're a good team.
They're not a bad team.
Yeah.
And again, Western Province caught out in the second half with the amount of aggression and the speed that these guys
Was
are
there also
playing.
not a yellow card, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, there was a yellow
For
card.
four against Western Province,
Yeah.
which also obviously broke their momentum.
Yeah, so personally, I think the Stormers had a good game.
Yeah. Sharks 17, Munster 42.
Yeah, there's a lot is being made about the Sharks that's missing 6 or 7 Springboks. Unfortunately for the Sharks, none of them are in the forwards.
Yeah.
Or one of them is in the forwards. Bongi is in the forwards. And that's where the Sharks' problems were. They struggled in the line-outs, they struggled in the scrums. Munster, again, not a bad team. I think ranked one position below the Bulls at this stage. So again, not a bad team. But of all the South African teams, I think we'll see a big turnaround in the quality of play within the next 3 to 4 weeks. And we must remember also, and that's the negative side of this whole conversation or discussion, is remember these guys, it's their first game of the season. They had 1 or 2 warm-up games where all the all the South African teams is coming from a 8-9 match Currie Cup. So yeah, we'll have to have a look.
Let's just quickly allude to the seniority of players. More senior players in the overseas teams than in our...
Definitely.
I think Jake mentioned
Munster had, I think, on their bench 7 or 8 Irish players.
Experienced players.
Experienced
Very
players.
good.
And again, it comes with the amount of money you're allowed to spend.
Yeah.
Which one side, if I'm thinking now, it's not that bad. Otherwise, Jake White will go and buy the whole of Europe to win the game. Now he's forced to grow the junior rugby players on the South African.
So a total different type of competition, but we knew this was going to happen, and it's our first time. Very exciting still to watch this. I must be honest, from a personal point of view, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And I'm looking forward to, and it's a long competition, and I'm looking forward to the remainder of the competition. I'm sure we're going to see growth and development in our local teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I think, personally, my opinion, great stuff. The Lions disappointed me the most of all the guys, the way they gave, or they just fell away in the second half. But all the other teams, they showed throughout, even the Sharks, throughout the match, that they're willing to work hard.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the Bulls and the Sharks and Province was more interested in setting up faces and everything, and which is not a bad thing, but they're too patient.
No.
They
must have to adapt to the style of rugby.
Yeah, they'll have to play a lot quicker. But that's it, the first weekend of the URC. Thank you so much. Hopefully next week, I think next week we'll have another win or two.
Hopefully, definitely. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.